Hello, dear ones. I've just returned from Portland, Oregon, where Jan and I were able to be present for the birth and the first few days of the life of our new grandchild, Hannah and Tim's son, Levi Alexander. Now, those of you who have spent time with newborns know that there is no more immediate or intimate feedback loop than the one that is established between a child who is crying and a parent or grandparent or caretaker who is trying to reassure and calm that child. We all know that the more tense one becomes in the longing, the outrage that comes into play when the child just won't quiet down is one of the most frustrating things on earth, and that we tend to get tenser and tenser and more urgent in our hope that somehow we will be able to calm and reassure and quiet that baby. It is a significant learning when we realize that in order to calm that baby, we have to calm ourselves. And to remain calm in the midst of the uproar and longing of a newborn child who is expressing, as only a newborn can, that particular kind of hunger, that particular discomfort, which most of us can't quite fathom. To remember practice, to follow our breath into the calm and into the peacefulness and into the depth that is possible, invites the child into like calm and peacefulness and depth. The same thing applies in our larger lives. It seems like it was no accident that Levi was born in Portland. And what's going on in Portland right now? What's going on in Portland right now is more than an intimation of a fascism that may be taking hold in urban areas around the country as our president becomes more and more desperate in his efforts to be reelected. We can respond to that crisis with urgency. Our breath can become shallow. We can become so anxious about the anxiety that surrounds us, about the wailing of the newborn, that we forget the efficacy of practice. We can allow the urgency to take hold of us and make us less and less capable of meeting the crisis as it comes, of assuaging the hunger as it rises, of being useful in quelling both the squalling of the newborn and the terror that is rising in so many of our cities in response to the possibility that the uprising growing from the murder of George Floyd, and frankly growing from a history of genocidal violence and white supremacy in our nation, and frankly many other places in the world, that uprising could actually turn things around, could actually be a moment of genuine change. You know, Dr. Barber of the Poor People's Campaign says, "A dying mule kicks the hardest." It is my prayer that this rising fascism we see in Portland, and that we fear may take hold around the nation, is nothing but a dying mule. So breathe deeply. Follow your breath into the quality of being that will reassure a newborn. Remember your practice when the urgency takes hold, and what you want most is to make a difference, to do the right thing, to take the next right action, take that action, but follow your breath as you do it. Good? Thanks.